Greetings, everyone, to a new episode of Hopen for Hope. In this episode, we'll be talking about emotions and misunderstanding, and I'll be praying that I'll be able to finish this episode before my battery runs out. Cause I'm a lazy guy and I don't put my phone on charging. So we shall begin now. People are sometimes bound to their emotions or able to grasp concepts and make decisions. But in the end, we have emotions whether we like it or not. See, you have to decide on something. And in time, you're going to come up with this problem in this situation where you're going to end up deciding with your emotions, or you're going to decide logically by, deducing the facts and whatever you have right there. But shouldn't we break down the whole deal with this though? Shouldn't we break it down? Emotions are just reaction to certain things and your own choice of how life should be. You see, people have their ways and people have their perspectives of how life should be and their own goals. They have their own ambitions, they have their own ideologies, their religions. Everyone has their different perspectives in life. So your emotions on a certain subject depends on your environment, depends on your society, and depends on you. If you choose, or if you've chosen that good people don't swear, so your reaction to someone swearing would be negative. You're going to end up triggered. In that case, you'd be triggered. And vice versa. Humans, like emotions are fundamentally memories categorized by how we want something to be and how close it went our way. See, if something went close to how we expected it to be, or it has completely fulfilled our ambitions or goals, or have met our requirements, or met those specific requirements of how things should be, we end up happy. Well, when they're far away from it, we end up, disappointed, hurt, miserable, mad, so on. In some cases, we have love in this idea, and we have love added to this dangerous topic. Okay, what about love? I'm not referencing the song. What if you chose to consider that you're someone else because you just realized it? I'll repeat it again. What if you chose to be someone else because you just realized it? I'm going to ask you to take a deep breath before continuing. Before continuing to listen to me. I need you to take a deep breath, because what comes next, what I say next, depends on you and how you listen to it. My motive is to make you understand that decisions that you make and the feelings you have for each option that you're given depends on how you've lived your life and expectations of how you've lived your life and your expectations on things. Consider yourself a male. Close your eyes and consider yourself a male, and you're straight, and now you're doubting it because you feel more connected to guys. But here's what happened. You've been betrayed and cast aside by your previous female lovers. Do you see what I did there? I first gave you data on a person who had feelings and had them mixed over due to expectations he had with his previous experiences and how much they couldn't have been fulfilled. The place where I wrote, or the place where I said doubt, that's when a person changed his feelings and expectations for what stuff should be. For most who don't have good friends or people who aren't ready to give advice to others on this topic, do not give advice on matters like this. They are very dangerous and they can lead to someone committing suicide or murder. Trust me. I'm not gonna say that through experience. I'm not gonna tell you through experience. I'm not gonna tell you that I pushed someone or said someone something and they did it, or I've done it myself. I'm just telling you by experience. Now, in a different example, I want you to picture yourself as a female who met this talented man and ended up having feelings for that person. Now, your friends are gonna keep pestering you that you have a crush on him, that you've fallen in love. You've fallen in love with him. Let me make this clear: those friends of yours, those imaginary friends of yours, or maybe the ones in real life, they're stupid, like downright stupid. Love and admiration, two dangerously different things. Dangerously different things. Never get them mixed up. Right now, you have mixed feelings. As I've said earlier, you have mixed feelings. You're either instinctually enlightened by the person and wish to be their companion, which is not really the case, because you can't just, love in first sight situation. It's just a reaction. Or in the most logical case, you want to be them, because the person is talented. You want to be as talented as them. You want to be as smart as them, as strong as them, as confident as them. See, we're talking about the person that you have mixed feelings for. You can't just say, hey, I'm in love with this person. You could say you're in love with who he is, okay, and what he does with his life, but you're not instinctually bound to, be their partner for the rest of your life just because you saw them and because you have feelings. You have to categorize your feelings. You can't just say, hey, I'm having feelings, I'm going to call it love. There's a big difference between love, kids. There's a big difference between love. There's a big difference between making a wrong decision and being stupid in the end. Now, the second example talks about how one could easily be affected by society, to feel about something and how they can turn away from logical decisions making and retreat to their instincts. Now I'm gonna take this slow. The second example talks about how you can easily be affected by society to do something or feel something. You know how I said your friends in the second example are pestering you that you have a crush on him. You were first unclear about your emotions, and they kept telling you that no, this is how it is. So you probably, at that case, because peer pressure, you've submitted to it, and you told yourself, hey, I have a crush on him. Now, to bother the guy, or you get into his life, or ruin it, or get his attention. You see how things change like this, how we end up doing something all because society pushed us to do it. Of course, I don't mean to be heartless, as said earlier. Don't get yourself mixed up because you feel it's right. Just because it feels right doesn't make it right. Because you probably how about, let's take a dark example. No, I'm not gonna go dark right now, but I'm gonna say you have to be clear when making up your mind and avoid taking too many risks that could lead you damaged. That could leave you damaged. In other words, forcing you to change how you feel about good things too easily. You have a happy memory, something bad happens, those happy memories turn into terribly painful memories. They've automatically become sad memories because you can't reach them, because you can't hold on to them, you can't do anything about them. They've turned. You should just keep them as happy memories. You've cherished those memories. You have to accept yourself that, hey, the past is the past. These are happy memories. I'm going to do something about the future. I'm going to do it in the present. I'm going to go on for the future. You have to categorize your feelings. You have to categorize your emotions. Closeness to your expectations is how you rank some of your memories and emotions. So try not to put your expectations too high, because you're going to end up too disappointed in the future. You don't put the feelings of being turned down or bullied in the being bullied in the happy category, unless you're a masochist, of course. You can't just say, hey, okay, being tortured and all that is they're happy moments of my life. They're the best moments of my life. No to all the normal people out there, for the masochists and the saddest like myself. Like, Okay, we should try to keep this clear-minded. We have to make this clear as possible. You gotta categorize your emotions. You have to make sure what's happy, what's sad, what things you get mad at. For instance, I want to have total control over the world and build a better and more peaceful society. And not just a peaceful society, I want to build a better, peaceful human race. Tearing down nationalism, having everyone equally recognize each other and accept that loving their homeland is okay, but killing one another for it is downright stupid. Just share communism. So if someone did something nice for someone, for only the benefit of the world and not themselves, I'd be happy. Because they're not doing for themselves. Because sometimes they do for themselves, okay, they're doing for themselves, okay, but they're also helping the society. They're helping others. So I'd be happy. They'll be like, Nusha Junet, Aziza. It's another word for enjoying, my friend, in Persian. If someone burnt down a tree that I loved, or any tree whatsoever, of course, I'd be mad. I'm a nature loving guy. So if anybody burnt a tree, stepped on a flower, I'd be hurt. I'd be mad, furious. And if someone forced me to cut down a tree all because it was sick, I'd break down in tears. I'd be hurt. This is because these are my expectations of how I want things to be. This is how I'm going to categorize my emotions. How close they are to my expectations. If you truly want to lead a happy life, first ask yourself, what do you want? It should only involve you doing the work and no one else. It shouldn't be just some butler saying, okay, you got to decide for me, Mr. Butler or Mrs. Butler, or whatever. You can't just tell someone else to decide for you, or you force your future on someone else. You have to think for yourself. You have to decide for yourself. You have to feel and think for yourself. Stand up for yourself. This was another episode of Hopen, and I'm hoping you liked it.